So guys, if you didn't think the bike was terrible enough before, it's gonna get worse. We're gonna go nose only breathing, okay? Nasal bike. This is a favorite exercise of mine or drill to do for a handful of reasons, and I'll try and just cover a couple. So first and foremost, I like the bike versus a rower or a skier or running. For one, I have data here that I wouldn't get on a run. And then secondly, on the bike, it's constant, whereas a rower or a ski, there's that recovery phase built in, and I don't want that. So ideally a bike, but whatever you got will work. Now, why are we doing this with our nose and not our mouth? Well, a couple things happen when we breathe through our nose versus our mouth. First thing that happens that's really great is we're gonna release more nitric oxide when we breathe through our nose and our mouth. That's gonna help with vasodilation and blood delivery, oxygen delivery, all great things for performance and health. The second thing that's gonna happen is we're gonna change the rate of exchange of oxygen and CO2. Okay, I think most of us know about oxygen, we breathe it, we use it for fuel. I think people know a little less about CO2. It's a byproduct of using oxygen as fuel, right? It's sort of like the exhaust that comes off. And a lot like exhaust, it's not awesome to deal with. A great example is when you drown, it's not actually the lack of oxygen that you're feeling, that panicky feeling. It's actually the buildup of CO2 that your body's not being allowed to release that's making you feel that panic, okay? And when that CO2 level gets high enough, things will literally shut down and you will die long before the lack of oxygen is the issue, or will cause you to panic, excuse me. So that being said, the biggest thing we're doing with this change of rate and building of CO2 is we're teaching our body to tolerate it better, right? And what that's gonna do is when you go into your higher intensity metcons and you're using oxygen as fuel, you're gonna be able to burn at a higher rate and tolerate that exhaust, right? It's like adding a turbo to your engine, so to speak. So that's the main reason I like doing this. Another benefit is that I can get a really good cardio stimulus without putting a lot of wear and tear on my joints with, say, hammering a sled or a bike or a bunch of thrusters or something like that. So that's some of the why, guys. Now, as far as executing it, when you're new at this, 5 or 10 minutes is a good test to start with and progress over a few weeks. Try and hold an average wattage of about 200 and make sure that you're measuring it. So start the clock and then stop it and let it show you what the average is, because you might think it's 1 and then find it's a lot less. And then over the course of a few weeks, try and get that average from 200 up to anywhere to 250 to even 300 and above. And I think you guys will get a lot out of it, not just in terms of seeing a benefit with your breathing, but learning how much is involved with your breathing that you weren't actually taking advantage of. So hopefully that's helpful, guys. Enjoy.